going on, everybody? I'm back again. We're on take 3 or 4, whatever it is. I keep screwing it up. I'm gonna give it another shot. Woo! Love it. All right, so showed you guys last night. I got my Vulgar Display of Power Collector's Edition, 1664 out of 2000. Now, this wasn't real expensive. It was only a $60 investment, but it's it's a collector's edition. That someday might be worth a good bit. If not, it's fucking cool. I like it. It is what it is. I've had a couple people message me over the last video when I opened this one, and talk about how I'm struggling and they think that they know what I should do with my finances. And yes, I'm gonna be strapped a little bit this month. Had to make some sacrifices, but I haven't bought a vinyl in over a year and a half, and I couldn't pass up $60 investment on something like this. So anyway, we're going to go into it. Pantera, that's the band that just absolutely opened me to this world. I knew about heavy metal. I was more into gangster rap, and if it was rock or it was hair metal back in the day. I love that. Never got into the heavier side for a while, and then I was in high school when a buddy of mine called me one day, said, "Hey, I'm going down to Hera." Remember Hera? Rest in peace. Hera Arena, Dayton, Ohio. But he's going to see White Zombie and the Ramones. I don't know who the fuck the Ramones are. I didn't remember who White Zombie was. And he said, they sing More Human Than Human. We listened to it every morning later. He was a big fan. And he picked me up because he was the one with the car. So we listened to what he wanted to. So I was familiar with that. And I'm like, okay, cool. I go down there. It changes my life forever, right? And then the next weekend or weekend after, something like that, is close to that time. Went with some friends, had a party, and they were real into metal, and I knew that. And so I told them about the show I went to, and they turned me on to Pantera. Played Pantera 3's home video. Oh my God, that just blew my mind. I'm like, man, these guys are nuts. Love it. There's that aggressiveness that I was younger then, much younger. I wasn't handicapped yet. And I like to get rowdy. This is great music for it. So, with that being said, getting to my point here on the album, and with it being rowdy, first song that hits you with is Mouth for War. Just Phil coming out screaming, "Revenge! I'm screaming revenge again." Love it. Absolutely love it. I know I don't sound like him. That's why I'm over here doing this and haven't been fronting a band. But I love it, man. That just grabbed me. And this whole song, it's like this dude took a look into my life and put it in his song here. And not necessarily just my life, but real life, he tells you, right, with these words, and you listen to him, like this dude understands real life. He's lived what we're going through. He's saying shit that we're going through. And it just gets you pumped up to fucking fight back. Not just give up and let life walk all over you. And they go from that into A New Level, which I believe is one of their most underrated songs ever. And especially on this album. And now the next two albums, not the next two, Walk and This Love were the two main hits off of this album. They became the biggest, probably their two biggest overall hits ever for mainstream, especially. And I'm not taking nothing away from them. I absolutely love them. But they're not the two best songs on the album. I think New Level is the second best song on the album. And we'll get to the number one, my pick, here in a little bit, and I'll tell you. But New Level, I believe, is the second best song on this album. It just, he calls it out, man, and he just lets it out. Got shit on, pissed on, spit on, stepped on, fucked with, putting down by lesser man. I mean, it's just absolutely amazing. Talk about getting pumped. I'm like, man, yeah, I get it. I get it. I've been there too. And this is that song, man. Just absolutely just puts it all out. And when he screams, unscarred by trials, that just, oh man, that just had me hooked. Had me absolutely hooked. And then you go from there on into Walk. So the first three songs on this album, hit you right in the motherfucking mouth. See what I did there? First three songs just absolutely taking you on this ride, on this escalator, and it keeps going up and going up. More intensity, more brutality, and just more. And Walk is just, that's, I've had enough. It's the hold my beer, I gotta deal with something. And then, hey, I fucking had it with you, had it with this is how it's gonna be. That's that song, okay? And I believe, especially with these first four here, they take you on a ride. Just getting you pumped, man, right? And Walk is like, hey, man, I've had it. New Levels is getting you pumped up. And Walk's like, I've had it. Starting to let you know I'm not taking this shit. You're going to respect me or I'm going to beat it into you. Oh, talk about, man, like, just, that's lyrical steroids to me as far as I'm concerned. That shit just gets me so pumped up, man. I posted on the Facebook page last night while I was listening to this because this got played 4 or 5 full rotations last night. I just, before I went to sleep, and I love it. So, getting you pumped, man. It gets you into it, and it's pulling you all the way up here. And so it gets you there to where you snap. You tell them, right? Had enough. Then the next song is the shortest song on the album. Okay. 2 minutes and 49 seconds. Really short. Brutal. 2 minutes, 49 seconds of pure brutality. And this is the culmination of the first four. With Walk, you talking to him, you're telling him this is how it's going to be. Fucking Hostile is where you just lose it. And this is what happens. You seem to wonder why. Hundreds of people die. You're writing tickets, man. My mom got jumped. They ran. Calling out deeper shit. And this just telling you, man, I've had it. Fucking hostile. And this is what's going to happen. This brutality is going to happen now that you've done pushed me. Fucking hostile. Man, I never got to see them live. If I could have pitted to that song live, one time. Oh my good. Oh, one time I would have been disappointed if somebody wouldn't have knocked me out there in that pit. That's just, moshing back in the day to me, it was my outlet. And I called it controlled aggression, controlled chaos. You're in there, you get a good concert, a good pit, around good metal fans. Everybody's on it. You're not trying to hurt nobody. You're trying to let it out. And in turn, you let your buddy let it out too. Let's beat each other's fucking punching bags. They're not going to beat us. Let's take this fucking out. Let's kick and just let it go. I know a lot of people don't get it. I understand that. You don't have to. It's a metalhead thing. And trust me, my life was a lot less stress-ridden when I was able to go to shows against the mosh pits. So they take you up there and they get you just, and then they hit you with one of their best ballads. They got a couple, and some this is one of my favorites of them. This Love, man. So you go from the sheer brutality, this ride of these first 4 songs, and you're just, whoa, and they got your back. They didn't want their fans having heart attacks. They want to take them to that point and bring them back, and that's what This Love does. It's that melody, that beautiful fucking melody that Diamond's playing. And the song means so much. And it can mean different things. Like, this song means a lot to me for a couple of different reasons in different situations in my life. There's a couple people that I related this song to over the years. And then that's the beauty of a good song, I believe, is when years down the road you can relate it to something completely different because it's the way it is. It just goes on. And so they bring you back down, level it out, bring you back down. We don't leave you down there long. Rise. Start this one out. We got no time to lose. Your news is old news. Hate this, hate me, hate this. Right approach for the wrong. It's time to spread the word. Let the voice be heard. All of us, one of us, all of us dominate into your motherfucking world. And take your motherfucking world. Fight back. Right there, what I get out of that is just fight back. Don't just conform to what you're being told, to what the trend is. You might be getting lied to. And we're going to have to fight back. So they pick it right back up. After taking it down, they pick it right back up, punch you in the face with this song, and then goes into No Good. The attack the radical. I don't want to. There's not a bad song. I said there's not a skippable song. My opinion, this one is just under par with the rest of them, and it's not a bad song. I love it. They keep you going there. Like I said, it's a great song, but it's not one of them that sticks out above and beyond with me, like the next one does, Live in a Hole. And I've always loved this song, and the older I get and the more my life's turned, whichever way it's turning, I get this. I used to be the guy that every Friday and Saturday night I was at a show somewhere. If it wasn't one that I was putting on, I was at somebody else's. Doing concert promotions. I worked with Phil. Was super joint though. I never got to see Pantera play live. We'll get into a little bit later. I got to hear a lot of these songs played live one time, but not by Pantera. But Live in a Hole. Live in a hole, but stay close to my mind because they understand what burns in my mind. Stay close to my kind because they understand what burns in my mind. I'm struggling, guys, but hey, man, I'm doing better than I have so far. It's my 4th take on this video. I love that part of that song, and I get it because now I don't want to go out. It used to be I'd go to shows, and that would be my release, because I can't play anymore. I can't play music. I can't, do the physical active stuff that I used to. I used to live a very active lifestyle, and I can't do that anymore. So going to shows was that outlet for a long time, and it turned into not that. I won't go into that. It turned into not that. So I understand even more now, this Live in a Hole, because 90% of the time, I'm here. I go see very few people. And I'm okay with that. I'm very okay with that. I don't need a lot of friends. I just need the right ones. And I believe I have that. I haven't been stabbed in the back in a couple of years by somebody who told me they were a friend. So hopefully weeded all them people out and we're good to go. So after Living a Hole, they hit you with Regular People. Talk about calling somebody out. most regular people would say it's harsh. Any streetwise son of a bitch knows, don't fuck with this. And I know it's most regular people would say it's hard, but I ad-libbed because that hit was harsh. But this one, man, is talking about how, regular people they're trying to censor shit like they were back then. I mean, it's over 20 years ago. It's the same shit we're fighting today, guys. Wake up. Wake up. But he's calling it out. And he's telling them, don't fuck with me. And there's a reason that a lot of us don't fuck with each other in that kind of way, because we're streetwise and we know, don't fuck with that person. Let him be. They're going from that one to by demons, be driven. Let me tell you. I thought I've busted blood vessels in my head at times, just screaming this, jamming, partying, this, get a hold of it, just fucking, just absolutely love it. And I know I said the F word a lot there, but I absolutely fucking love it. I used to share a religious viewpoint that I no longer share, and that was one of the songs that made me start asking some questions that couldn't be answered, and let me know, learn that maybe I've been lied to. But that opened the door for me to, eventually give bands like Slayer and Lamb of God, who turned out to be my top 2 favorite bands ever, a shot. It's because of this. And by demons be driven, and what I take out of this is, again, my opinion is how I interpret it. By demons be driven. What I'm taking from this song is he's telling you, no matter what you're going through, find something, find that ambition to keep fighting. If you got to do it by demons, by whatever, just keep fucking fighting. Be driven. Don't ever become content. Don't ever stop fighting. I believe in my heart, that's what I take from it. I don't know if that's what he meant, but that's what I used to apply it to a lot of times. Now, after they take you up there, I got to take a hit for this one, because next up is what I believe is the best song on the album, and next to 5 Minutes Alone, I believe it's the best song they ever done. And I heard this one long before I heard 5 Minutes Alone, so there was a time. This was my favorite song from Pantera, and it's Hollow. And they slow it down again, and he tells a story right there. I love his storytelling. But this one hit home to me because I experienced a couple of things like this in my life. And, the second one, this song was out and I knew about it, so it helped me get through it. The first one, I wish I'd have known about this because it might have made it easier to get through as well. But to me, it's they're just one of their best, man. Like I said, next to 5 Minutes Alone, it's my favorite song Pantera ever did. And quick story about this. I'd gotten one of those stimulus checks, because COVID or whatever. And, or no, it was before COVID. So I forget what it was for. I got a check though. Well, might have been a car accident. That's what it was. Me and a friend of mine's wife got T-boned, and I got paid. And this is what I done with with the money that I got paid for that. Because my car, I got paid for pain and suffering. So to make me feel better, I bought some floor tickets to see Slayer's final farewell tour stop in Ohio, and it was in Columbus. Now that was my 4th time seeing a Slayer, first time seeing them indoors. And my first time seeing them with Lamb of God, not with them, but they had Primus Ministry and Phil Anselmo and the Illegals. And Phil Anselmo and the Illegals was doing the Vulgar Display of Pantera sets. And this was the first time that Phil had performed them since he left the band. So I'm pumped, right? I got to miss all this shit. I didn't get to see them do that. I never got to see Dimebag perform. I seen everybody else perform in other projects, but I never got to see Dime perform, and I never got to see Pantera. So I usually don't get online and look up set list of bands because I'll get upset. I want to be surprised. But there was just so many of them, and so I'm looking, and for the first, like 3 nights before our stop, they hadn't played Hollow, but I'd seen it had been on the list earlier in the tour. And I'm like, man, if they play 5 minutes alone, I'll be happy because I know we're probably not going to get Hollow. I just know it's my luck. So we get there, and the lineup was not done right. The order was not done right because Phil and the Illegals opened that show and set that energy through the fucking roof. Me and a good brother of mine, EJ, miss you, brother. He had not got to see Slayer, and so I gave him those tickets. We went, and when it started, he goes to the front, and I just started walking my crippled ass behind him. Now, 20 years ago, when I'm going to shows, I lived on the rail. I was at the front on the rail all the time, and I usually got there because I'm big and intimidating looking. People get mad and they see people bumping in, and they turn around and see me, and then they're like, oh, shit. Hey, it worked, okay? Well, I'm not that anymore, but bumping into people, they turn around, they're like, oh my God, it's this crippled guy with a cane. It's like they parted the Red fucking Sea for me, man. It was great. And I didn't even have to tell anybody that this is my first time seeing this, but I had worked with Phil Anselmo before. So we go all the way up the front, and we just kind of nudge our way and onto the guardrail. And EJ lets me go up there because he's a brother, man. I'm telling you, my back hurt so bad after that set, though, from everybody pushing on me. But I went through because this is it for me, right? The only time I'll ever do that again is if I ever get to see Lamb of God indoors and have floor tickets. I want to be that close to Lamb of God as I was to him. Because on the way down, I'm telling everybody, if they play Hollow, don't laugh at me. I might cry. So don't laugh at me. Okay, so they're playing, and I forget what they played right before it, but they'd already played 5 minutes long. They played that kind of early in the set. And I'm like, fuck yeah, dude. So at this point, I'm good. Let's just give me what you got, man. I'm enjoying the shit out of this, and I'm on the guardrail. And they start into Hollow. And I turned around and I looked at my brother EJ. And he said, go on, cry, motherfucker. I said, I am. And they let loose. Music is so much more to me than just listening to something. Like, that's an emotional ride. It can be a roller coaster. The best albums are an emotional ride. A roller coaster, something that make you feel it. Not just hear it. Feel it. Feel it. It's not just about looking pretty and sounding good. Like, tell me a fucking story. Your words. You write. Let me tell it. And that's what they done here. So they played that, and I'm crying. And I'm up there on the guardrail, and just fucking. And Phil looked down at me, gave me a little. And a point. Now, I like to think that maybe he remembered me from working with me in Dayton. Probably not. It was just one of the things. He's seen a grown fucking handicapped man in the front row just crying, getting into this shit. And that's what he loves it for. Because I had a conversation with him about how he feels about people getting so emotionally invested in his music in Dayton. And maybe we'll have a video one day of me going into that. Because that was cool. Man, we'll do that someday. But that happened there. And it was amazing. It was amazing. It was a great time. Now, I won't go into how the rest of the show went down because, I mean, Primus was great. That was the first time getting to see them, and I used to play bass a little bit, so getting to see Wes live, amazing. Slayer, of course, awesome. But Ministry was not, and it killed the rest of the show for me. That plus, I hurt so bad after the illegal set doing this album, um, or the old Pantera hits, but most of them came off of this album. And for me, you know, they had great ones. You know, Cowboys from Hell, Southern Trendkill, I gotta get next just because of one song. Oh, not just because of one song, but there's one song that's really stuck in my head here lately. And I gotta hear it on vinyl. So that'll be one of the next Pantera ones I get whenever. You know, like I said, it's the first album I bought in probably a year and a half. So hopefully it don't take that long to get another one. But I want to thank you guys for sitting in, listen to me ramble about this. But check this one out, man. This is a game changer album. Absolutely solid front to back. And just one that I love. All right, guys. You have a good one. And hey, fourth time was a charm. I made it all the way through with no boo-boos. All right, guys. Until next time, give me a subscribe if you would. If you haven't, share this. Subscribe. Turn that notification on. It'll let you know when I'm coming putting videos out. And, man, I just appreciate everything, guys. Till next time, jamming. Stay safe. Love you guys.